Paradise Revealed. Volume 2. The Path to Pure Devotion Through Milton's Paradise Regained. Shivani Diwan. Introduction. We've all felt lost at some point, trapped by our own desires, confused about our purpose, disconnected from something greater than ourselves. This feeling isn't new. It's the human condition, and it's exactly where our journey begins. First volume of Paradise Revealed explored how we fell into this predicament. It examined how the pursuit of independence from the divine, the desire to be our own gods, led to suffering, confusion, and a sense of separation from our true nature. We saw how uncontrolled desires create a cycle of misery that seems impossible to escape. But what if there's a way out? What if the path to freedom has already been demonstrated? Perfect example. This volume follows Milton's promise to tell the story of how paradise was recovered by one man's firm obedience, fully tried through all temptation, and the tempter foiled. This isn't just an ancient poem, it's a blueprint for spiritual liberation. At the heart of this volume is the Son of God, the one greater man, who shows us the way forward. His experience in the wilderness isn't merely a historical or mythological event, it's the ultimate demonstration of how consciousness can overcome conditioning. While most of us are driven by impulses we barely understand, the Son shows what it means to align completely with a higher purpose. Think of him as the ultimate spiritual scientist, running an experiment in consciousness under the most extreme conditions. The laboratory is a desolate wilderness. The hypothesis, that unwavering devotion and self-mastery can overcome any temptation. The result, a proven method for spiritual freedom. The real battle. Here's the key insight. The greatest battles aren't fought with swords or words, they're fought in consciousness itself. The Son's journey reveals how temptation works in layers, attacking us at increasingly subtle levels. Level 1, the body. First come the basic drives: hunger, comfort, physical pleasure. The Bhagavad Gita, an ancient Indian spiritual text, calls desire the greatest enemy, the destroyer of knowledge and self-realization. We've all experienced this. One craving leads to another, and soon we're controlled by appetites we can't satisfy. The Son shows us how to master these drives rather than being mastered by them. Level 2, the mind. Once physical temptations are conquered, subtler lures emerge: power, prestige, intellectual pride. Imagine being offered kingdoms, influence, the chance to change the world on your terms. The temptation here isn't obviously bad. It's the seductive idea that you know best, that your wisdom is supreme. The Son demonstrates that true wisdom comes from humility and connection to authentic spiritual knowledge, not from clever philosophy or political genius. Level 3, the false self. The deepest temptation is the hardest to see, the illusion that we're separate, independent beings who must prove our worth. This is what the Gita calls false ego, the mistaken identity that keeps us trapped. Victory here means recognizing our true nature and surrendering the exhausting project of self-aggrandizement. Path within. The ultimate message of Paradise Regained challenges everything modern culture tells us. True fulfillment doesn't come from asserting independence, accumulating power, or proving ourselves. Comes from internal mastery, from aligning our will with something greater, from achieving what Milton calls the paradise within thee, happier far. This isn't about blind obedience or losing yourself. It's about finding yourself by letting go of the false self, the one driven by endless, unsatisfiable desires. It's about discovering that the freedom you're seeking isn't found in doing whatever you want, but in wanting what truly serves your highest nature. For newcomers to spiritual literature, think of it this way: you're not broken and you don't need fixing. You need to remember. You need to reconnect with something you already are but have forgotten. The Son's journey shows you how. For experienced seekers and those with scientific minds, consider this an empirical study of consciousness under pressure. What happens when a fully awakened being faces the same temptations that trap ordinary humans? What techniques does he employ? What can we learn from his methodology? How this book fits together. This volume continues seamlessly from where Paradise Revealed left off. To maintain the flow of ideas, Volume 1 examined divine authority, the nature of evil, cosmic creation, and the fall, ending with the promise of a paradise within in Chapter 5. Volume 2 picks up immediately with Chapter 6. Its structure mirrors Milton's four-book Paradise Regained. Chapter 6, Book I, The Foundation of Spiritual Combat. Chapter 7, Book 2, Conquering Physical Temptations. Chapter 8, Book 3, Rejecting False Wisdom and Pride. Chapter 9, Book 4, The Final Victory and Internal Paradise. This continuous numbering reinforces a crucial point: spiritual development follows a logical progression. Just as the Bhagavad Gita builds from basic concepts to advanced wisdom across its 18 chapters, this trilogy moves from understanding the problem, the fall, to applying the solution, redemption through devotion, to realizing the ultimate truth, which we'll explore in the final volume. You're not reading disconnected essays. You're following a single path, marked out by guides who've walked it before you. The question is, are you ready to take the next step?